Hello, and welcome to the BUS125 audio version of the online orientation. Now, you need to watch or listen to this only if you did not attend the live orientation. If you attended the live orientation, you can also watch this, but it's going to be a bit of a repeat of what we already talked about. And if you came live, you can take your 5 points of extra credit and be ready to go into the course. Now, if you didn't go to the live orientation, I will not cover everything that we went over in the live orientation here, but I will cover some of the most important things to help you get started so that you can navigate the class well and perform better on quizzes and exams. Remember, we're only going to review the most important points. You'll still need to review the syllabus and the course to fully understand what's involved. If after this video you still feel as if you'd like some additional help in orienting the course, come see me one-on-one if you need that or if you need additional help. You can find me in my office, or you can call me on my extension 2491, and I'm in MD 344. Let's get started. First of all, this screen should look pretty familiar. This is the home page of the course. Home page. There are a few buttons that you'll see, and I want to point out just a couple of the key ones over here on the left. Obviously the syllabus, and hopefully at this point you've downloaded the syllabus and you have it in front of you. And you've read the syllabus and you're ready to just key in on some important points. That's obviously an important button. But this right here, the assignment schedule, that is your most important button. That's where the bulk and meat of the course is and where you'll be spending most of your time. Quizzes and exams is obvious, where you can find how to take your quizzes and exams, and that's where they'll actually be loaded. This is where you'll check your grades. The discussion board is important for the word of the week extra credit content. The writing assignment is currently just a blank area, but will be populated with information on your writing assignment. And then the useful links contain some quizzes and games and fun things for you to do. Classroom blog is just a place where you can introduce yourself to other class members. Now, I'm going to go into the assignment schedule. As I mentioned, I believe that that's the most important part of the course. So let's take a look. What you'll see in your assignment schedule are weekly folders, as you can see, set up by dates, so that depending on what date it is, you'll know where to go, where to get information on what to do. And at any time you can work ahead if you like, but know that the quiz or test that happens weekly will only be posted during the Wednesday through Saturday of the week in which you're working. So for example, for this first week, August 21 to the 27th, the actual quiz won't be posted on the 21st. Instead, you'll find that the quiz will be posted on the 24th, and it will be up until the 27th. So let's take a look inside that this week's folder and see what you're responsible for. When you get into a particular folder, what you'll see are several bits of information. There is some written information that I do suggest you read, and then there's also some files that I've uploaded. And if I've uploaded a file, my intention is that you download and read that file. In the case of the first couple of weeks, you can see I uploaded some of the book content. And that's because I think your book was on back order, and so having the book content is nice. But normally what you'd see is a PowerPoint lecture that pretty much mirrors your book. You want to make sure, according to the syllabus, that you've read the portions in the book that you're supposed to read. Note any important comments that I make about the material, because this is an area where I feel either your book didn't explain something well, or there is a mistake, or something that I wanted to add. You know, based on the syllabus, what homework you're supposed to do. Here I post the answers so you can check your own homework. Note that there's also a word of the week, which is an opportunity to earn extra credit. So I ask that you post on the discussion board in the word of the week forum. We did practice this in orientation, but it's pretty straightforward. And then note this all-important audio file as you read and go through your text. What you'll note along the way is that there are different self-assessments. In other words, you read a bit of content, and then there's a part where there's it's almost like a little mini quiz. It'll actually say self-assessment A or B or C. And what I do for each one of these is provide audio commentary on the material you've read and the answers to the self-assessment. And I do suggest listening to those because I provide you tips and tricks on the quizzes going forward. So it's a great place to get information. So remember to make sure you read all the content and do all the content for each week. So let's go over what these important points were. You want to review all the material that I have there, what I've written, any PDFs I've uploaded, any audio material, and if I've provided any PowerPoint slides. They're always helpful to digest the material. Do the homework and check your answers, though I'm not going to collect the homework or ask that you send it to me. It's really just on the honor system. I trust that you know that the homework's going to help you practice for the quizzes and the exams. Also, do those self-assessment exercises in the text and listen to my audio commentary so that you can get up to speed on what the quizzes might look like. Pay attention to my comments or special notes, and don't forget about the word of the week. So that wraps up what I think is one of the more important parts, the assignment schedule. Let's move on to what quizzes and exams might look like. And again, you would find if you click on the quizzes and exams button, during a time when a quiz or exam is available, if you were to click into weekly quizzes or weekly exams, you would find your exam and you would click on it to begin. So this is a quiz we took at orientation. It was the orientation quiz, and this was question number 2. And I wanted to just take a moment to let you know what quizzes might look like. So a couple of things. When you launch a quiz, there will be some instructions. You want to make sure you read those instructions. Note that the tests are timed, and at the end of the timer, what happens is the quiz is automatically saved and submitted. So you want to keep an eye on your timer, because if you're moving all around or have gone here or gone there, all of that's possible with Blackboard, with the buttons over here for moving forward and backward on a quiz or test. But once the timer is up, Blackboard actually takes it from you. You know, you can only take the test once, and actually make sure you don't pay attention to this where it says the test can be saved and resumed later. It actually can't be, and I'll explain that a little bit later why that's so. But the most important thing here is to note that in this case, you are supposed to take a look at a sentence, read it for errors, and in this case I do tell you it's in something with adjectives, and then simply type the correction in the box. So this is the example of the types of questions you'll see on in this course. Something like, I think today is beautifuler than yesterday, and for most of you that should feel terrible. It should sound wrong. And you know the answer is, well, more beautiful, not beautifuler. But the key is that you only type more beautiful in the box. You only type the word or words that need to fix the edit. You don't need to type change beautifuler to more beautiful. You don't need to retype the entire sentence. As a matter of fact, if you do those things, Blackboard's going to mark it as wrong. So only type the word or words that you believe need to be updated, changed, etc., and we will be doing fine. And when you're done with an exam, I suggest you review the feedback and the answers. And this is what an example of test feedback will look like. If you had typed more beautiful in the box, it would show you yes, and that's correct. And just a reminder about some feedback. If you didn't type anything, if there was no answer given, I'm still going to tell you what the correct answers are, particularly on a quiz. And then like in this case, since we didn't do 4 and 5, none given. But you can see, like for example, in number 5, under the cabinet is the file that you need, and you were trying to identify the subject, and you might have put in file or the file. Either of those would be correct. But the file that you need or any of that might not have been correct. And so you want to make sure that you're following the instructions. You're only typing in the box what you need to make the edit correct or to answer the questions, and not typing the entire sentence. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the important points from that slide. Remember to type only the word or words that need to be edited. Don't retype the entire thing. Always check your answers with Blackboard. And the reason you want to do that is sometimes Blackboard marks you wrong and you're not wrong. So email me and I'll take a look at it. Do take the test in the time allotted. Blackboard does have a feature in which it actually collects your tests when you reach the time limit. So make sure you don't go over the time limit. Remember, Blackboard's not going to kick you out. If you do happen to lose your internet connection during a quiz or test, just log back in. You do lose time, but you won't be locked out of the test. And when I do get an email from students that tells me they've been locked out, I tend not to believe it or trust it. And the reason is Blackboard is really set up, as long as you have a reliable internet connection and your internet's working, Blackboard's set up to allow you back in. Just remember, you lose time and that timer is timing down. Don't forget, Blackboard tells you can save and resume the test for later, and you really can't. That's the feature that lets you log back in if you lose your internet connection. You can, but the timer, like I said, is going to time and take your test, and that just isn't good. And don't forget, again, quizzes and tests are drawn from a database, so it's probably not a good idea to take your quiz and test with your colleague or your friend. It might not help you that much because each quiz or test is going to be different. So good luck. Have a great semester. Don't forget to come see me or call me or email me if you're having any difficulty. Thank you.